Hello, We Got This listeners. This is episode 14 of We Got This with Mark and Hal. A record-breaking episode of sorts. I did some research into this, by which I mean I looked at most of a page of Google results, and as far as I can tell, we're the first ever podcast to record an episode while in the midst of a commercial flight. So there you have it. Mark and I are on a plane, which means you're going to hear a lot of airplane-type noises, including some air and an engine, and dings, and some announcements made by the PA system. So bear with us and enjoy it. And imagine you're on the flight with us, which means that you were part of the Thrilling Adventure Hour Down Under tour. Congratulations. You were great in all the shows. Mark and I both really enjoyed working with you. And we hope that you're enjoying the podcast. And if you are, one way you can really help us out, if you haven't already, is to go to iTunes and rate and review our podcast so we can get it in front of some new listeners and recommend it to a friend or a family member you get along with or a friend that you consider to be like family. They all work. So without any further ado, please enjoy episode 14 of We Got This. Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all. Window seat or aisle seat on a plane.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcasts should have a theme song. Podcasts should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, this is Mark Gagliardi.
And this is Hal Lublin.
And welcome to We Got This. Did we play the opening?
Yeah, it'll be in there.
Okay.
We'll have edited it in.
Hal and I are trying to be very quiet right now.
Yes.
Because we are sitting on an airplane for our very special on-the-road episode where we determine which is the better seat, window or aisle.
Yes. And we are flying from Sydney to Auckland, New Zealand. We're not even halfway. We're like a third of the way through our tour of Oceania, as it's called.
Is that what this area is called?
That is what it's called.
Wait, on what? The wrist board?
Yes, on the wrist board. It's right next to Irkutsk.
I was just going to say that. Irkutsk is my favorite.
Yeah.
Were you a Risk player as a kid?
I play it now. I have like 4 games on my iPad, and one of them is Risk.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I played on, because it's a lot easier. You're not actually having to move around all these tiny little pieces anymore.
Yeah.
You can be like, send 40, and it does it in 2 seconds rather than counting out all of the little 1, 2, you know.
Yeah, if you like military strategy and you're infirmed, get it for your iPad. You don't have to touch small plastic things and move them around.
Also, it's good for babies under 3. Because
finally a game for babies under 3.
Right?
Your toddler can play that game of Risk that they've always wanted to play.
Well, they've been, I figure children under 3 have been gameless and toyless for too long.
That's true. It's finally time for them to get in the game.
So let's talk about window versus aisle.
Yeah, so we're eliminating the middle seat.
Which Hal is currently sitting in. I would like to point out, I was sitting a little higher up.
Yes.
Or a little closer toward the front of the plane with Juliana. And Hal was sitting back here with Jen. Hal in the aisle seat and Jen in the middle seat.
Yeah.
Hal said, come on back, it's time to record. And I said, great, switch seats with Jen, and I will be right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I am not a middle seat fan. And I can't believe he was amenable to that.
Yeah, I was. Well, to be fair, it was Jennifer who agreed to move. No. She had to move aisles.
Yeah. And she's sitting up there with Juliana right now, which God knows what they're talking about.
Could be big trouble for both of us.
Probably nail polish and pillow fights, right? Isn't that what girls talk about?
You're from the 50s, aren't you?
Yeah. Why are you in black and white right now?
Oh, boy. Because you've been eating too much Australian food.
Oh, geez.
That's the effect it has.
I did have kangaroo on a stick.
How was that?
Delicious. It was, I assume, touristy, because I don't think a lot of locals eat kangaroo. They're like, hey, bonehead, have some kangaroo. But it was delicious. It tasted like steak, like super lean steak.
Okay. So there you go. A lean source of protein, everybody out there. Kangaroo. They jump a lot, so.
And I'm working my way through the Winnie the Pooh characters. So I got Kanga. Is Kanga the adult?
Kanga's the mother, yeah.
Oh, man. I was hoping I was eating Roo. This baby kangaroo is probably so much more tender. That's terrible. I'm a terrible person.
We're talking about the best seat on the flight.
Yes. And I I will start with this. I prefer a window seat on the left side of a one-aisle plane. Not the window seat, I'm sorry, the aisle seat on the left side of a one-aisle plane.
So you're talking about like there's a middle aisle, 3 on each side.
Yes. And the reason is I like to work when I'm flying. I like to get on my computer, and so I like to have the elbow room being on the left side.
Yeah.
So that my right arm, I'm right-handed, so that my right arm is in the aisle. And also, I like to be in an aisle seat because I feel rude if I'm the guy that is at the window seat and I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Because I'm usually taking long flights. I usually fly New York to LA at least once a month.
Right.
And it's like a 6-hour flight. And half the time, the people sitting next to me, if I'm in a window seat, are asleep. And I have, instead of waking them up, I have just held it and held it and held it.
Yeah.
And it has driven me absolutely crazy.
How do you, every flight you go on, you have to use the restroom at some point? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You have the bladder of a child.
Well, 6 hours, man. Everybody pees at least every 6 hours, right?
Yeah. Before you go, and then after you get back. Oh, that's
good.
okay. No, welcome, Samuel. You work for Air New Zealand, right?
Yes, I do, sir.
And what do you think is the best seat on a plane? We just want to get your opinion. You're a professional.
We are window or aisle?
Definitely window. Oh, it depends on what you like. If you like the scenery and the experience.
Scenery.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, we're flying into New Zealand where the Lord of the Rings films were made.
You're more into practicality and stuff like that. You like the aisle. You like to stretch your legs. Probably the aisle. But
Okay.
That's a good. There you go. That's a good point.
yeah.
Well, I'm still working on this.
So I'll bring it to you now, sir.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Samuel. So there you go.
I like that I just ordered a beer on our podcast.
Yeah, of course. People assume you're ordering a beer all the time anyway.
Samuel makes a very good point, though, that I hadn't thought about. People like the window for the relaxation, but the view is really the gold of the window seat.
It is. On the flight in, so our original leg out to Australia was Los Angeles to Auckland, and then Auckland to Sydney. So on the way into Auckland, the way into Sydney, Jennifer was in a window seat, and I was in an aisle seat. We were bulkhead, which is the very front of the plane.
Right.
And
which is the no seats in front of you.
No seats in front of you.
Oh, that's right. I remember because on that flight, everyone was lining up to go to the bathroom while standing next to you.
Yes, exactly. I get to see, I know all the people who went to the bathroom on that flight, and I kept a list. So you can ask me for it, and I will furnish said list.
Did you hear all of the people that went to the bathroom on that flight?
Well, I had a special set of headphones that were wired right in.
Because I'm work juice player is the noisiest in the bathroom. Besides you and I, because I'm assuming you and I would alternate the gold and silver spot.
Listen, a gentleman never tells. I feel like the audio version of Sliver is putting a microphone in somebody's bathroom. I like to listen.
Oh, he just dropped this beer up, and I was turned toward you and didn't see him to say thank you.
Yeah,
I feel like a jerk.
He knows.
All right.
He knows who you are.
I like to say thank you though, because I'm polite.
You don't get a second chance to make a first impression, Mark.
What commercial was that from?
All of them. So we're sitting up front in bulkhead, and Jennifer's at the window, and I'm in the aisle, and she's looking as we're on the left hand side of the plane, like you prefer, and as we're descending into Sydney, she looks out, and she sees the Opera House, she sees the Harbor Bridge, and she's trying to point it out to me, and every time I turn to look, I can see a sliver of the sky. Like I can't. She's like, look, oh my God, look, there are 2 horses walking on their rear legs. And I think they're about to box. And I would look, and all I would see is like the top of a tree, maybe. So there is a huge difference. Like if you like a view, and it's cool when you're coming in on approach to be able to look out the window, but you have to be on the correct side of the plane.
That's true. I used to like, in flying into LA, I used to like to sit on the side of the plane where I could see all of Los Angeles, north of the airport.
So the right-hand side.
The right-hand side. Because the flights always go out over the water. And I think it's a prettier view. It's more interesting. You see downtown, and you see the Hollywood side and Universal Studios. But, this sort of makes me feel sad that I said aisle at first, because in so doing, and then in talking to Samuel as he walked by, I am realizing that I'm more of a practical person than a dreamer. And I've always fancied myself a dreamer who likes the view of life, like a stop and smell the roses guy. Well, and I'm realizing now, I'm like, nope, I just am changing the background on my computer to roses.
Yeah, the fact that you're using the flight to work,
Yeah.
that's the most practical thing.
I know, that's
Possible.
terrible.
No, it's not. I mean, it's fine.
No, work is awful. I just want to look at life. Come on, Hal.
Look, you're in your 30s now. That time has passed. There's no time to look at anything.
There is no living left.
No, there's nothing left. But now it's just doing. All the time doing.
But Jennifer, Jennifer was sitting in the window seat and you were sitting in the aisle. Is that because Jen prefers the window and you were giving it to your wife, or you prefer the aisle? You guys are like the sprats.
Jennifer, yes, Jennifer prefers the window. I prefer the aisle in general because I can stretch out a bit more. I have longer legs, and that is a problem. And then a middle seat is tough for me just because size issues.
Well, we all
for
agree
anybody.
that the middle seat is horrible.
But here,
and there's a reason that if you are in the C group on a Southwest Airlines flight, you step onto the plane and it's just a sea of middle seats.
That is the worst. That's what I don't like about Southwest. And it used to be if you checked in early enough, you could get an A group, like you could be A1. Now they make you pay for it.
Yeah.
But the other reason why I like the aisle seat is I like to. When the plane lands, and it's like when a plane lands, everybody, first of all, on the sly, I assume, casually unbuckles their seatbelt, and then as soon as you hear that boom, and the light turns on, you can move about the cabin. I stand up immediately.
Really? Why?
Because I want to stretch.
Okay.
Probably my knees hurt a little bit, and also I can get my bags out of the overhead and get off of them. I just want to get off the plane.
Okay.
As soon as you get on a plane, you want to get off.
Yeah, but
of
you're
it.
not going to get off any faster than the guy that's sitting next to you.
No, but
you wind up crammed into the row with everyone else. You wind up standing there for 20 minutes.
Yes, but I'm standing. And I can lean.
I guess I'm just lazy and I prefer to sit as much as possible.
Well, if
I was in a wheelchair, I would be happy.
If you want a stroller for adults,
I want a wheelbarrow.
Can somebody get Mark an adult stroller?
What's the biggest I can be and still go in a stroller? Jeep makes strollers now. All right. So do you like the view? You said you only got that sliver.
I do like the view. I do like having a view. So windows are nice too. They're comfortable.
Are you the guy that on takeoff you shut the blind and don't look out? I do like, if I'm in a window seat, I will take full advantage of it. Usually not during the flight because it's just clouds and it doesn't change much. But takeoff and landing, I do love to open the thing and look out. If
the sun is rising, I will normally take the shade down because I'm trying to watch a movie or something. That's like my flight activities. I load movies up on the iPad and I watch them. So if the shade being open makes it too bright and I'm getting too much of a reflection of the screen, I will close it. Mm-hmm. If there's an exceptional view, though, I will stop what I'm doing and take a look.
Okay.
And then on an overnight flight, it's just sort of polite to do that.
I feel like I do that if there's an exceptional view as well. I guess I err on the side of being too polite when I'm in a window seat. Maybe, and this, I'm not like, humble bragging here to say, I think I may be too polite for a window seat because I won't get up to go to the bathroom. I'll like, oh no, they probably wouldn't like the light, so I'll leave the shade closed. If it's a great view, I will open it up and be like, no, you guys look at this. Yeah. And I will tell the people next to me, I'll lean back and be like, look out the window, it looks great out here.
Oh, that I won't do it. I'll just turn and look out the window. Say, hey, you should have gotten the window seat if you wanted to look out it.
Hey, C group on this Southwest flight.
Yeah. It's your fault for checking in so late.
I will give you another benefit to the aisle seat.
Okay.
Is the overhead bin.
Yes.
I do not like to have stuff at my feet on a flight.
Okay.
So I frequently like to use the overhead bin as if it's just a shelf with my stuff on it.
Right.
So I'm up and down a lot. I probably drive flight attendants crazy sometimes because I am up and down so much. But if I finish with a thing, I stand up, I go into the bin, I put it back in my bag, I get the next thing that I'm working on or doing.
Right.
So that is a benefit to the aisle seat over the window. But again, it goes back to that practicality thing. I hate to draw broad strokes for everything that we talk about.
Right.
But it becomes, are you a practical person or are you a person that looks at the view?
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to be a person that looks at the view.
Here's the thing, and maybe this takes the pressure off. The one time I don't care where I sit, because I don't mind having something at my feet.
Right.
Is if I only have one carry-on. Like if I did a Welcome to Night Vale touring show recently, and it was like an overnight flight. I hate to brag, but I'm one of the voices.
You are Steve Carlsberg.
I'm Steve Carlsberg.
Welcome to Night Vale.
The secret revealed, finally.
It's no secret. You tell everyone that.
I do. I wear the shirt.
You wear the shirt.
Ask
you
me about
told
Steve
girls on
Carlsberg.
the street that you were Steve Carlsberg. You stopped at a Carlsberg beer sign and pointed at it and took a photo.
Look, I'm very proud of my work.
I think you should be. It's okay.
Which is the best I've ever done. So for that flight, it was like just a quick overnight. I was away for an announcement.
The preparation was ending. It's time for you to put away your belongings. All bags must go in the overhead locker or under the seat in front of you.
Their accents are so cool.
I don't know how many of you understand mic technique, but she must have that thing right inside of her mouth. There's so much wind. And that can't all be...
I think it's inside her mouth via the other end.
It's come up like a...
Nobody wants to be the guy that uses this plane and that microphone after her.
She has her own microphone. They have to break it out, then hermetically seal it afterwards. But anyway, I was on this flight, and I only really needed an overnight bag. So because I had everything in an overnight bag that could fit into the seat in front of me, it didn't really matter where I was sitting on the plane or where, well, it's another guy. This guy's better with the mic.
Well, he's a captain.
Oh, that's true. Just because it's a captain doesn't mean they're better on a microphone.
Sure. Captain and Tennille were great on microphones. Captain was. Tennille was terrible.
So, you could always tell Tennille was singing because it sounded like... That was her sound. If you're listening at home, okay, Gagliardi's just spilled beer on himself.
Well, to be fair, there's serious turbulence right now.
There really isn't.
There is no turbulence.
There's no turbulence.
I just missed my mouth.
There's just turbulence in your mind because you've come to grips with the fact that you're a practical person.
Oh, God, it's awful. Here's the thing that I love about having a carry-on bag that fits under my seat that doesn't bother me. I know I said earlier I don't like having things under my feet and I like to use the overhead. But if there is, my elbow just got hit by a lady walking by, which is a downside of being in an aisle seat.
Yes. You get hit with
big
carts,
downside. You get hit with everything. And it's your elbow that's always right there. It's like you're aiming your funny bone at the world.
That is true.
But if I am on a flight where I've got a small enough bag that I can shove it under the seat in front of me and still have room for my feet, I love it because I don't have to get up. And also, I can be the last guy on the plane, which nowadays, it's at such a, I feel like it's more of a premium than it has ever been, the overhead space. It's because they charge for to check a bag, so everybody carries on.
Yes.
And they carry on enormous bags. So overhead bin space is at a premium. And if I can fly without using an overhead bin, I can be the last guy on the plane and not have to worry about fighting for that space.
Absolutely.
And I never have to stand in a line or push and shove to get on the plane. Yeah. I am happy to be the last guy on. I don't want to be sitting down cramped on a plane any longer than I have to be.
Right. But there's no, you don't get to do the LIFO on the plane, last in, first out.
What?
Last in, first out, man.
Are you an acronym guy like this? I didn't know you were one of these guys.
I'm trying it out. It's not going well.
No, LIFO's not last in, first out.
Yeah, and then there's FIFO, first in, first out.
All right.
Which is really what
I'm more of a Lilo in life.
Last in, last out.
I'm kind of slow on things.
Yeah. I don't know what the acronym is for get to the airport 5 minutes before your flight, but you are that too. As we've established. We've talked about this before.
Sometimes I get really lazy and I'm a 9-0.
Not in, not out?
Yep. That's when I miss my plane.
Yes. For this flight, though, we're all traveling collectively.
That's true. All of the Thrilling Adventure Hour that has traveled to Australia is on this flight.
Yes.
And I do love that half of the cast is in business class and half the cast is in economy.
Yes.
Hal and I are in economy.
We are.
But the reason is that you could bring a guest if you flew economy.
Yes.
So the cast that is flying up in the front of the plane with the fancy people are monsters that would not offer someone a free trip to Australia and New Zealand.
They had no one that they cared to bring.
That is so horrifying a thing to say. Almost as bad as the wheelchair thing.
Yeah. No, not as bad. They're not even in the same neighborhood as one another.
Here's another downside of the aisle. I know I said initially that I love the aisle. I've given some pros and cons of it. Another downside of the aisle is with the ones that have with the seats that have a television in the back of it. Everyone can see what I'm watching if I'm the guy in the aisle.
Yeah, but you're not putting on Caligula. What are you watching on the plane?
But I'm like, hey man, if I want to watch, the Aristocats, it's none of your business.
Look, anybody's judging you for watching the Aristocats. It's terrible. Although I will note on this flight there are no less than 3 to 4 people I can see who are watching Jupiter Ascending, which makes me think I'm on the flight of the damned.
It's Channing Tatum goat movie.
Yeah, Channing Tatum goat movie.
You know who he looks like? He looks like that guy from the original Clash of the Titans.
Oh,
what's his name?
Oh my gosh.
Somebody's gonna know.
The satyr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please let us know if you know what that guy's name is.
That guy, to me, always looked like Carmen from Laverne and Shirley, but with goat legs.
I'm trying not to laugh really loud because we are on a plane.
Yeah, we're trying to make our least funny episode ever because we're mid-flight.
So, you're welcome, everyone. That's a short one. They'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but Channing Tatum looks like a goat in this movie. He also looks kind of like the knight on a chessboard. He's like they've made him horse-faced on purpose. He's a good-looking guy.
Sure.
We all admit it.
Everybody knows that Channing Tatum's a good-looking guy. Anyone born on April 26th is a good-looking guy.
Oh, there you go.
Jet Li, Channing Tatum, yours truly.
That's right. You share a birthday, the three of you, the Holy Trinity.
With Carol Burnett.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, one of the legends of comedy.
Wow.
I met Carol Burnett, and I always said to myself, if I meet Carol Burnett, I know what I'm going to say to her. And I totally fanboyed out, and I met her. I walked up, and I said, Miss Burnett, we share a birthday with Channing Tatum.
What did she say?
She said, happy birthday, because it was April 27th.
And then she pulled her earlobe, which was a sign of security to take you away. Here's
Wait, did I say Channing Tatum?
No, we haven't mentioned it yet.
No, I meant Jet Li.
Oh.
It was Jet Li. It wasn't Channing Tatum. I said, we share a birthday with Jet Li. That's right.
Then she pulled on both earlobes, which meant bring in a taser.
Oh, don't tase me, Carol. Jeez.
So, here's another drawback to the aisle is when the other people have to use the restroom, you have to get up all the time, which sometimes is a problem.
Unless I'm the guy at the window.
Yeah, then you'll hold it or wear an adult diaper or some nonsense.
My gosh, I never thought of that.
That's got to be rough. Look, for people who have to wear it, I get it. You do not have a choice in the matter.
Yeah.
That is your lot in life right now. It's very tough, and we feel for you.
Yeah, on a plane it would be rough, too.
Yeah. I mean, look, when a baby has used a diaper, there's a smell. I'm sure when an adult uses one, there is at least double the smell.
No, because those things are filled with kitty litter, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you can just make a cloth diaper.
Yeah, cloth diaper full of kitty litter.
You can macrame a kitty litter diaper for yourself.
All right. I'm going to have to go back to my seat soon.
Yes.
Hal and I were not seated next to each other on this flight. So we need to make a decision.
Let's do it. I'm going to say, while I enjoy the view of a window seat, ultimately, practicality aside, I like the freedom that an aisle seat gives me. I can get up and move about at my own free will, and that is where the imagination really takes flight.
Are we allowed to lean over the person who's sitting in the window seat and be like, I can't see, dude?
Yes.
Then I am choosing an aisle seat as well.
In fact, you have to.
Great.
You're in the aisle seat.
So, mid-flight, I guess takeoff and landing, the window seat is probably better, but for the duration of the flight, the bulk of the flight, the aisle seat is the superior seat. Yeah.
Now, normally I would tell you not to do something, but in this case, I'm going to issue an edict.
Okay.
If you're on a flight with myself or with Mark Gagliardi, and you're in the same lane as us, you should be sitting in the window middle seats. You should save us the aisle seats.
Yes.
Because both of those guys have passed away, So now we get the aisle seats. We need them. We want them.
Wait,
and
who
we
passed away?
Ebert and Siskel.
Oh gosh.
It's not recent. I promise you.
I didn't hear you say Ebert and Siskel for a second, and
I was saying save us the aisle seat. That was their famous sign off.
That's right. I thought it was we'll see you at the movies.
Probably both. I think they
Can't
did
have
both.
two sign offs.
Yes, they can. There's Siskel and Ebert. There are two of them.
Well, you know what? For We Got This, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
And I'm Hal Loveland.
And save us an aisle seat. So thank you as always. Please prepare the cabin for landing. Thank you as always to Jonathan Dinerstein for our score in the opening, and to Mike Furman for our hilarious opening song.
And to Ken Bloom, who does all the mixing and mastering for this fine podcast. And if you have a topic you would like us to discuss when we are landlocked once more, you can email it to wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com.
Or tweet it at us at We Got This Tweets.
Or visit us on the Facebook. Facebook.com/thisannouncement. That's not right. It's Facebook.com/We Got This Podcast. And until next time, don't worry, everybody. We got this.
We got this.